The SL, or what us car enthusiasts refer to as the R129, which is the chassis code for the Mercedes-Benz SL, was a car that I've always loved since I was a teenager. I remember walking out of my house, going across the mall and seeing a white one with the top down, and the father and mother was seated in front and two kids behind. And I said, wow, that's a cool family car, right? It's a convertible, it's a coupe, yet it seats four. And I told myself, wow, that is really the car to own. But back then, can you imagine, this was 30 years ago, it already cost about $450,000. So it was a car that only all the tauques or all the rich businessmen would own. And yeah, it's been one of the dream cars that I've always wanted. Yeah, so it's really a really special car to me. I guess what got me into cars, this whole story dates back to the time when I was a kid, and I've always enjoyed looking at cars, appreciating how they look first and foremost. I remember living in an old house along Katong, and I always see nice Ferraris and Porsches drive by. From then on, I just love cars, right? The way they looked and sounded. That eventually got me involved in writing about cars as I became a professional in my early 20s. And then, of course, when I started buying my first car, that really spiraled me into a whole new journey of appreciating cars on a much deeper level.
The GTO is special to me because, in the 90s, there was this movie called Thunderbolt featuring Jackie Chan. So the hero car was the GTO. I think everybody know about it. So it was the dream car for people of our age during that era. So I couldn't afford one back then. So when I came back after my studies, and as I worked for some time, then I saw one in market for sale. So I bought it at a good price, restored it, and had it for a while. So I joined the GTO check group. So there are about 6 GTO in Singapore, including mine. So I have a chance to buy a second one because one of the owners was trying to sell it, but I think it was priced too high. There was no takers. So I managed to buy it off from him at a very low price, and I renewed COE, restored the car as well. So people always ask me, why do you have 2? So I live my dream twice. That's what I tell them. I have been racing for the past, I think, almost 30 years. So I've been racing Japanese cars. So that was in 1990s. So in those days, I was only like early 20s. So there are cars that I could not afford, like the GTO, Supra, NSX, Skyline. I think the JDM cars has appreciated a lot. So it's beyond reach now. Even for people who has worked the whole entire life, they can't afford a car. So this classic car page that we created is for young people, people of our age, to have an area to flashback.
Regarding car culture in Singapore, I would say nowadays we have things like Cars and Kopi at Dempsey, where you have lots of cars and friends and people from all walks of life. You would get old classics to new modern supercars as well, JDMs to German cars. And it's really a place where, in my opinion, a lot of friends can come together and really enjoy cars and friendship at the same time. So my hopes for Singapore's car culture is that people not be daunted too much by the cost, because it can be quite scary. The truth is that you can still enjoy a car without spending too much money. Maybe buying a COE renewed car, or really the joy of owning a car doesn't mean you have to own a special car or a sports car. My encouragement to everyone, of course, is to go out there, get a driver's license if you don't have one, own a car, enjoy the experience, and then bond with other like-minded friends. And you will see that the community in itself is possibly a very enjoyable and rewarding one as well.